Well, thank you so much. I can see a few cards over there, and I would like to start some conversation. And one thing that is intriguing me a lot, which I'm doing a little bit more research about, is a topic called lean thinking. And that's by Puneet, right? Puneet, did you mention that about lean
Yes,
thinking? Right.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So that's really, really awesome. Somehow it feels like you read what is in my mind currently. I would like to know, are you willing to share something about this, or you want to have a conversation about this?
So Vineet, I feel lean thinking, it is a bit neglected topic in Scrum, and although it is mentioned in Scrum Guide, we kind of neglect that thing in all the other discussions. So I
Yes.
would like to understand more and
Yeah.
probably explore more.
Yes, Puneet, absolutely spot on. And I would like to hear views from everyone else. So I would like to throw this forum open for all of us. Anyone, please raise your hand if you'd like to summarize what lean thinking is and how it can be applied in our work context. If anyone would like to share, please raise your hand using the Zoom feature, this one. This will help me moderate a little bit. And yes, please. And remember the rules of this group. There is nothing right or wrong. We are all here to experiment, and we are all here to add value to each other. So please don't judge each other and don't try to impress each other. All right, everyone? We are all here to explore, bounce ideas, and take it from there. All right. I see few thumbs up. Thumbs up will go away, but I would really like to, have a hand raise. All right, Ashutosh, I'll start with you. What is your broader idea? What would you like to share with the community here?
So I believe most of the time getting stuck to getting a process right, or just believing that okay, this is the only way to do, or and then you get stuck into the process, and you never realize that you might also be generating some waste in that process. The whole idea of the whole idea is to removal of waste, and keep continuously inspect and identify such waste, what is working for you, what is not working for you, well within the boundaries of the Scrum, I would say, because this is LTS. So yeah, so removal of waste is something consciously.
Yeah, and we don't have to restrict to the boundary of Scrum, everyone. See, Scrum is based on lean thinking, which itself means lean thinking is a broader concept, isn't it, everyone? Lean thinking is a broader concept, and we apply that in Scrum to take it from there. Well, thank you so much, Ashutosh, for breaking the ice a little bit. I would like to invite Prudhvi as well. Briefly, what's your take on lean thinking?
Yeah. When we do any process, process is not common for everyone. I mean, process is mentioned as that as the guidelines, which would be useful for most of the thing. So when you are following that process, if you think that some of the whatever rules or regulation, whatever mentioned in the process is not required for your project, then we have to treat it as waste. So that's in that way, lean thinking is we have to decide which is required, which is not required. Generally, there are 7 types of waste. Out of them, if anyone, do you think that whatever you are following process comes under any one of those 7 things?
All right. That's a great point. So let's build on this, right, everyone? Let's build on it. Let's not repeat. So Ashutosh mentioned about in general waste, and Prudhvi mentioned about 7 waste, right? So next in line, I would like to ask you, can you do you have any thought on 1 or 2 examples that waste we can have? Yeah, everyone else. Yes, please. Maybe I would like to see if someone else is also there, Prudhvi, and then I'll come back to Puneet and you. Yeah, Puneet, do you have something right that we can relate to? What does it really, how does it apply to our current work environment?
Yes, Vineet. So the Scrum initiates the 5 events. So these events help us to bring the team on the same page, and it eliminates the needs of different meetings.
Like
developer to tester meeting, they might have some meeting, and they might want to understand each other's work. So those kind of meetings, the reviews, all that stuff are eliminated because of these Scrum. So in a way eliminates those extra waste hours that we would be.
All right. So you're saying the meeting between some of the meetings between the team members could as well be waste. And that's very interesting. Then how do you encourage communication between them? Because let's say a programmer would like to have whatever, various developers would like to have conversation with other developers. So we have to avoid calling them as meetings and treat them as meetings, like formal meetings and all, and just convert it to formal or informal interactions, casual conversations and something like that. That is much faster rather than wasting time trying to schedule a meeting and all of that. Well, thank you so much, Puneet. Again, let's continue to build on it. I'm already having my eye on the time box. I think there was one more hand raised, but which has gone down. Sham, would you like to add something?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. So another thing can be less of documentation in Scrum. We talk about more of working product and implementing instead of documentation.
All right, all right. So over documentation, you mean to say, right?
Yeah, so that is
Nothing
again a
else.
kind of waste, I would say.
All right, great, great. So thank you so much. And one last take from Prithvi. I would like to bring it back to you, Prithvi.
We can say some other wastage like defects is one type of wastage.
Yeah. So
Another thing is that nowadays we are using the continuous integration. That's why there is no delivery from one team to another team. Previously, if something happened, we have to do something and we have to keep on the another server. Another team will take from that server. So
exactly.
these type of delays, we have to think how to avoid. Nowadays, during this continuous integration, we are achieving some extent, but still there would be some chance of delays.
All right, great. So let's put it all together. Thank you so much. So I am going to be talking about a concept called minimalism. Another talk proposal that got selected in two of the conferences that I will be talking. One is next Friday, which is Agile Tour Wellness. Minimalism is all about doing less, and this is highly inspired by the lean thinking itself. So the concept of minimalism came from non-IT, non-agile areas where it was more about leading a simple life and doing less. And many great business achievers have followed this principle all their life, doing less and achieving more. All of us have same amount of time in a day, right? I am assuming that all of us have 24 hours in a day, or is there anyone having more or less? Right? Ashutosh is smiling, right? So we all have 24 hours, including the greatest achievers. But then look at it, right? Some people are ending up achieving more than what someone else, maybe some of us could achieve. So, within us also, you will see different levels of achievements. All of this is happening. Now, that's where the idea is. It's not about doing everything which is on your plate. It's not about eating everything which is on your plate, right? It's about choosing the most appropriate thing at that moment. That is broadly the idea. And that is where you see value. Most appropriate means where is the value? Our organizations, because there have been processes set up for many, many years, if you challenge any existing process, and as Shyam said, Shyam, how comfortable it is to challenge the existing documentation currently in our organization.
Yeah, it is difficult.
It's very difficult, right? You go to management and say, hey, these meetings are boring, not adding value. And we will generally see a lot of backlash. So the reason is our lack of acceptance of things which are waste, isn't it? People are not willing to accept that this is a waste in our whole value generation process, and value always lies in the hand of end user. So broadly speaking, lean thinking is about looking at things in a different way, clearly defining what value we are here to generate for our end users, last in the value chain, and then try to eliminate or reduce everything else from that. Now, let me ask you a few thought-provoking questions inspired by Chris Lee. Do you already now, again, no offense meant, everyone, this is just casual conversation. In this event also, do you see waste being generated? What do you think?
Oh.
Yeah. Now, if you read that lean thinking, even asynchronous or offline communication is a waste. Right? Unnecessary documentation is a waste. Now, that's where this whole idea of face-to-face communication also gets connected to, because we are not able to pass good amount of information when we are not online. So this is the idea. And as Puneet also mentioned, if we apply lean thinking properly in our events and usual conversations, we will eliminate the need of many meetings in our organizations. Let me ask some of you this question. I'm going to ask a question, quiz question, and put it on the chat. Okay, put it on the chat. Are you all ready? Can you show me your, now those especially on your cameras, can you show me your hands? And I hope you have a warm-up. Please put your hands on the keyboard, and I'm going to ask you a question. In a 40-hour week, how many hours you today have to spend on virtual meetings? I will count maybe 3, 2, 1, 0, and all of you, can you put the hours in a week out of 40 working hours? How many of those? 30 to 30. Puneet, are you serious? 30 to 32 hours. Ashutosh says 20 hours. Ankur's, my goodness, can you all look at those numbers? Everyone, look at it, right? 30 hours, 10 to 12, still great. Ron Mosley, great job. I also see Saswati, 10. Jinu, 30 hours of, I mean, does it mean 30 out of 40 and then, or does it mean your work hours get extended because of so many meetings? Okay, would anyone like to share, Gino?
Yeah,
It's extended? Yeah, we cannot hear you, Gino. Sorry about that. Anyone else would like to share? 30
Yeah.
hours today. So you end up
Yeah.
working like 50, 60 hours. Now, this is one experiment I would like to share with you. In one of the organizations I was working with, one of the leaders I had a chat with, he came with exactly this problem. Vineet, our people are spending way too much time on the meetings. Now, let me ask the second question, which I will then connect to the story. Out of these meetings, 30 out of 45, maybe around 12 hours, 40 plus hours, Ranjan.
Yes.
40 plus
what I was saying.
hours,
Yes.
right? Awesome. How many of these are recurring meetings? Some of these are
Yes.
daily meetings,
Yes.
more than 30 minutes. All right.
Yes.
Now, how many of these are recurring weekly meetings, and some of these are monthly meetings which go on for the entire day? Something like that? May I assume that? Yes, recurring.
Yes.
Recurring.
Yes,
If
yes.
people
Lot
are
of-
lazy,
in fact-
just one meeting set for the rest of the year.
I mean, I am surprised about in recent project, frankly speaking, when things are happening like we are presenting something to the client CIO as a part of a project board. I know project is not a concept of Scrum, but please bear with this. And again, same thing I am presenting after some time in weekly status report.
Another week,
Some
yeah.
people were there in the same meeting.
Awesome.
And
It's the
now
same
project board, which
information
was
again and again.
monthly
Right.
project board, happened fortnightly. Now it is happening every week. It has become joke now.
All right. All right.
Such things
So
are happening.
great. So this is something I would like to share. I hope you get the message here, what I tried. So one leaders came with exactly the same issue. We have so much of meetings and lots of them are recurring meetings and all of that. The duration span from 30 minutes to about 2 hours average. So all of this I said. Now, this is something that just came out of my mind and we experimented with that organization and the results were mind-blowing. Are you keen to hear what experiment we did? On a lighter
Absolutely.
note. All right. This is what we did. We set up a 2020 rule in the organization. 2020 rule. Now, this is not inspired by T20 cricket. It was, well, 2020 rule. Now, this is something I tried. First of all, no recurring meeting going forward. People need to put in specific agenda for every meeting. All right, even if it's something daily. So no recurring meeting. Now, other than that, these are the two things. First 20, your meeting cannot be more than 20 minutes. If you have many things to discuss, you have to split, just like the concept of Scrum. Remember, if it's an epic item, what we do? We split them into smaller chunks, right? Now, this is something very simple concept. Large meetings avoid, long meetings avoid, 20 minutes per meeting. Now, this is very tough for many people because many people say we need 20 minutes, we don't even get started. Well, that's a waste. That's against lean thinking. So one meeting, 20 minutes, if you want, just discuss one idea and that's it. All right. So first 20 is only 20-minute meeting. And second, every organization, in that organization, every employee have right to deny every meeting after the 20th meeting you are attending in that week. That is the second 20 of the rule. Did you get it now? What is the first 20? Per meeting, only 20 minutes. Minutes maximum. If you want to discuss, just discuss one idea and stop it. And second, in a week, not more than 20. Now, can you do the math? 20 meetings multiplied by 20 minutes, how much it will be in a week now? Yeah, can you do the math quickly in hours?
2 hours.
No, 20 minutes into 20 meetings, which will be 400 hours. 400 hours is less than 400 minutes, less than
6.5.
7 hours, less than
Sorry.
7 hours.
7
See
hours.
now how much is the difference? And that too, you will realize that you will not need 20 meetings. What happened in that case? People ended up having 7 to 12 meetings only. Think about it, 7 to 20 meetings, 7 to 12 meetings in a week and reduce drastically. Now,
It's 1930.
yeah, do you think anyone willing to try this? And I'd like to hear from you in your organization. At least you can do it for yourself.
So I have one question, Vineet, here.
Yes, please.
Sometimes we do pair programming. Can we consider that into the meeting, or we cannot?
They are not meetings. They are not meetings. They are collaborative work.
Correct.
That's what I said when some of you were saying just every conversation is not a meeting. Just chit chat is fine. Have more chit chat, right? Don't formalize it too much where one person talking and others are listening. Pair programming is collaborative working, which is not meeting in my eyes. What do you all think?
Yep.
Give me a thumbs up if you think it's not a meeting. Pair programming. All right. Great. So these are some of the things. Just to summarize, lean thinking broadly means focus on value, reduce waste, which will need you to take a paradigm, different way of looking at things. What documentation could be waste? What meetings? What people? What interactions with people could be waste? Not like people are waste. I'm saying not really adding to the current conversation, and try to reduce them or eliminate them. Is it okay, everyone? Scrum applies it by keeping simple team structure, bare minimum events. You don't need any other product related events if you do all the events well, and minimum number of artifacts, isn't it? Minimalism is the key in Scrum. That's the idea. Now, Rohan Bhosle, a great idea. I was about to end this, at least where you can apply. Can you all see the chat from Rohan? Right? Give me a thumbs up. There is a message by Rohan Bhosle. Right. Now, this was what I was saying. Tangibly, what you can take away from this is when you have refinement discussions, do it multiple times, only 20 minutes, and see the impact of it, my friends. Rohan, thank you so much for sharing. This was exactly what I meant. These kind of things, refinement is one such thing which is, happening multiple times in our, Scrum. So you can do it in T20 manner.
Yes, and I believe it will save a lot of time, because many of the times refinement sessions go on a tangible discussion, and time boxing it to 20 minutes per story maybe can then force everyone to focus on that story and the discussion.
Oh, great job. Now, thank you so much.